It's my Gacha channel's 7th anniversary, so what's it like? So, I've been a Gachatuber for 7 years now. It's my channel's anniversary, and it doesn't feel like 7 years, but hopefully as time passed. I started this channel as a teen, and now, look, I'm still here, apparently. Obviously, I think. I'm existing. I didn't think when I started this that I'll continue for 7 years, and on, but I guess so. I always get asked by people who know me personally and are aware that I'm a Gachatuber. They ask me, you used to do this? And heck yeah, I do. And people asking, it's only been like 2 people who asked me, but you know, it's funny how it's happened twice. In my personal life, I don't say I'm a Gachatuber or mention it to anyone really anymore because I learned the hard way that if I did, then first my peers would stalk me, but also they give me this weird look like, what's wrong with this lady? Or, oh, that must explain why she's so odd. And honestly, I do not want to deal with that, so I usually just keep quiet, and if they accidentally see my photos of my characters, then, surprise? Moving on from awkward confrontations, I started this channel to express my feelings and stories through gacha content, and with hope people would like to listen to my stories at the time. At school, I was a weirdo. I didn't fit into any social groups, and I was left out by everyone, literally. Even people that were outsiders like me didn't really like to talk to me. Anyways, but before talking about this, I want to thank the person who introduced me to the gacha, because golly, did I probably make them regret they introduced me to it. Which, honestly, now that I look back at it, was kind of harsh, but I would always talk about my characters and be invested in like comic dubs, my favorite fandoms, and then what like vampire stories, and I could go on and on and on how I was like, but you get the idea. That and sprinkle some teen edge and you have younger me with her first characters Elizabeth and Adrian, which those aren't their original names, but their original names are very cringy, so I prefer not to mention those original names. But man, did I tire those people out. And honestly, at the time, it was pretty good I had started a channel to convey those over-the-top stories, because if I didn't like them, I knew maybe someone online could. I didn't think thousands of people would actually see them. Maybe just 20 at most, but I got a lot of views on my Grim Miraculous stuff at the time, which, in a nutshell, so you don't go watch it and cringe yourself, was just a crossover between my personal characters and Marinette and Adrian. And they were like in college, I think? Maybe late high school, but their souls were pretty old. I don't know how it really was because I avoid rewatching it too. But kind of think of it as we have Sailor Moon at home, but if it was written by an edgy girl in her teens, or young teens, I guess. And I didn't know 7,000 people would enjoy them as much as me. And then after I did the Miraculous stuff for like 3 to 4 years, I finally moved on to what I wanted to do the most. Make a series of my characters, which I had wanted to do for a while, but needed to have a set-in-stone story to make it. And luckily, after the crossover, looking over abandoned projects that all had to do with destiny, mourning my love for my older characters and trends, gee, you're there, and being introduced to alternative music, I was ready to make an original series. I think I was. I was inspired by Miss Rosie Closey to make it voice acted because after the Music Freaks, I learned that if I wanted to make a gacha series in the modern times, it had a better chance of doing better if it was voice acted. I mean, hey, maybe series like my old Miraculous one would still do good in this era, but, you know, my mindset is maybe you guys can change my opinion on that, but either way, I think it's pretty awesome. I love getting to work with all these amazing people who want to voice my characters, so we can all get experience for future projects. That's basically a wrap-up of my 7 years being a Gachatuber. I'm hoping to continue this journey of my voice-acted project, The Forever End, and also hopefully continue my other project, The Corrupted Cupid, and maybe finally start Gacha 101, which will be giving tips and advice for video makers and other Gachatubers. Anyways, thank you all for an amazing 7 years in the Gacha community. Thank you all for being there and listening to me when I didn't have anyone else. Thank you. And I'm hoping to continue for many more years to come. Okay? It's always so awkward for me to end these things, but thank you all so much for 7 years in this community. And I guess I'll be seeing you in my next video or my community post. Either way. See you soon!